Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm starting early. Starting early because Sipa is already ready and I want to I just want to get started. Get this over with. So this is the grand finals. Probably over a $1,000 prize pool or somewhere in that range. This turn said it's bigger than before. And this is going to be just the top 16. I'm only playing against Sipa today. Tomorrow is the big day for the tournament. Good luck, thank you. Alright, so I made up a matchup selection strat for Sipa. So I kind of have a rough idea of what the picks and bans may look like. Good luck, man. I hope you win. Same. Thank you very much for the good luck, though. Alright. Let's do it. Alright. So first things first. We're banning one faction each between the two of us. I banned his Chaos Dwarves. He banned my Empire. Hell yeah. Seems like he's not very happy about the Chaos Dwarf ban. Yes. Yes. He banned my Empire because he probably wanted to play Chaos Dwarves into my Empire. So that's step one out of the way. Step two. Faction picks. Now on Borderlow Landing, which is very favored for a handful of factions. I am the first pick, which gives me a lot of leeway. So I'm gonna go for Beastmen. And now my opponent picks two factions. There's a lot of options he can go for. Beastman's really good though, because one, it's one of his factions. So it's gonna suck a little bit that he can't play Beastman. And the map is actually quite comfortable for the Beastie Boys too. But what are his other factions gonna be? That's the real question. Flying Lizardmen again. Alright, let's see. What are the factions that I gotta deal with here? Khorne and Wood Elves. Wow. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, I can deal with this. Khorne and Wood Elves. Okay, so obviously I'm not playing Vampire Counts. That is effectively a death sentence. But I can go the Warriors of Chaos, who are pretty decent versus both. There's still no Tomb King pick. I think my last faction... I think I know what I want my last faction to be. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want this to be my last faction. Then I should be okay. Alright. Tomb Kings, yes! Okay. Norsca, Chaos, Beastmen against Khorne, Wood Elves, and Tomb Kings. That is not a terrible lineup. It's not a terrible lineup. Norsca's pretty good versus Wood Elves. Like, all my factions are playable versus Wood Elves. Alright, so now we do the Banes. So I think first and foremost, actually this is all fairly comfortable. I guess I'll ban Tomb King's Beastmen. Okay, so what we basically have, like Norsca, Chaos, and Beastmen should all be pretty good versus Khorne. Especially on a map like this that is fairly big. Seepa round 1, what a stacked tournament, I know, right? But yeah, I'm gonna ban Tomb King's Beastmen first. Just because it's a matchup I'm not super comfortable with. And then I can ban out the Wood Elves if I really want to. And then it's Norsca and Chaos versus Tomb Kings. Or any of my 3 versus Khorne. Which should be pretty decent. Khorne's not the worst. He bans Tomb King's Norsca. He bans Khorne Beastmen. Okay, that's pretty good then, right? Warriors of Chaos versus Tomb Kings is pretty good for me. But what we can do now is I can start knocking off Wood Elf matchups. Like, Chaos versus Wood Elves is playable, but not a matchup that I'm like dying to play. He also doesn't play Khorne as much as many of the other factions, so that should be fairly good. Chaos versus Tomb King should be relatively straightforward. We have Norsca versus Wood Elves. We got Beastmen versus Wood Elves. Wood Elves can be really scary, but between Norsca and Beastmen, it ain't too bad. Oh, what would I rather play? If I can beat his Wood Elves, that'd be great. If I can ban his Wood Elves, even better. I'm gonna be able to pick Wood Elves in the last round anyways, so that would be pretty comfortable. Tomb Kings is pretty low win rate. A lot of people say that the win rate should be higher though. Okay, I'm gonna ban Norsca versus Wood Elves and Chaos versus Wood Elves. I'm just gonna get the Wood Elves out of the picture. If I don't have to worry about Wood Elves, life is a lot more comfortable. I'll play Norsca and Chaos versus Khorne, right? That's as simple as a life as it gets. Will Turin cast this? Turin's gonna cast just the top 4. Because it's gonna be best of 5s, so. He's probably gonna do the alternating thing. I'll give Turin a solid like 15 games potentially to cast. I don't think he wants to do more than that. Alright, this is good though. I would play Norsca versus Wood Elves because we saw Boss Toss beat us there, but the map is not very favored for us. Borderlow Landing is a very tree heavy map, very good for vanguarding. So while Norsca is really nice, I'd rather play them like on a slightly more open map. Best of 5s to top 4. We're best of 3ing Seepa, and then we're probably best of 3ing Attack Speed Enjoyer in the top 8. Those are very volatile. I just want to get to the best of 5s. If I get to the best of 5s, we're pretty comfy. Good luck, Anticity. Thank you. Thank you so much. You'll enter the scene soon and bring the Tomb King's win rate down to 30%. Hell yeah. Okay, so Seepa's deciding between Khorne Norsca, Khorne Chaos, Wood Elves Beastmen, or Chaos versus Tomb Kings. This is all fairly comfortable. He's thinking on it. He's thinking long and hard. They're all matchups that I am comfortable playing, though. Like, I know how to play the matchups. And not only that, I still get one more ban. Go and go. Oh boy, yo, I'm sweating. This is ultra tryhard intensity. These tournaments, they always unlock the mega tryhard in me. I really want to make it to at least Saturday, but preferably I make it to the top 4. Like, top 4 would be great. Semifinals would be a great achievement, but we're going for the win if at all possible. He bans Khorne and Warriors of Chaos. It's a fairly good sign for us. Fairly good sign. I gotta make sure I don't lose my lord. Gotta make sure you don't take gunpowder factions on these terrain heavy maps. Those are pretty sketchy situations to be on. Next map, by the way, is Imperial Ambush. And after that is Proving Grounds. I have my list of factions that I want to play for those. That should be pretty good. Not having to deal with Sipa's Chaos Dwarves is quite nice, though. He's been playing them a lot. I've been deep researching my opponent. So we're really limiting their options here. But I think we got good options. Sipa's Wood Elves. Well, I can just ban it if I'm really worried. He bans Tomb Kings and Warriors of Chaos. Okay. Norsca Khorne. We got a solid one. Norsca is generally regarded to be one of the best rush factions in the game right now. Oh my goodness. That's a good start. But it doesn't get us 100% of the way there. Unfortunately. Map-wise, it's pretty close quarters. So, beating up Khorne, it's gonna be just a wee bit sus. Norsca's good though. Like, in general, this should at least be mildly comfortable for us. Ooh. The Monkey Men. We got the Norskins. But, yeah, Khorne. Khorne. Very scary faction. Overall. We have Wolfric with the boat. We can go Throg. Throg is a lot more susceptible to fire damage, but he does have anti-large. He can be useful. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Alright. So a little bit of this action. You can't spam a pretty decent amount of armor as Khorne. You can also go mass Marauders. There's the problem with the Wrathmongers. They can be pretty scary. 6 Marauders? You mean like 6 Marauder Horsemen? Siva knows I'm gonna take Marauder Horsemen though. But I feel like the map is... I don't know. It's plus and minuses for Marauder Horsemen. You gotta be a little... careful because... Indeed... You don't have that much... just raw kiting space to work with. I believe Flesh Hounds have fire attacks. Let me just double check. No, they're only magic. Okay, that's not that bad then. Okay, yeah, so flesh hounds are magic attacks. Skin wolves can be okay, a little sketchy at times though. You gotta not just YOLO skin wolves into Khorne. That can be awfully problematic if not played correctly. Oh my goodness. This should be a fairly comfortable matchup. I just gotta not goober it. Important game, nervous, yeah. Best of threes are way more stressful. Way more stressful than usual. Is this the build that I want? What are the rules? It's more or less just standard domination. There's a few unit restrictions, but that's it. I think in this game, the only restriction is that Ice Wolf Chariots are limited to 2. Locus of Conjuration is banned because of a bug. Arrows of Khorne is limited to 1 because it's OP. No Doombolt and War Man with War Shrine limited to 1 because of a bug. Overall, fairly comfy. But yeah, the great thing here is that Wrathmongers are just really bad versus Horsemen. So it's one source of comfort that we have at least. No Doombolt seems weird. Maybe? Oh no, it's quite strong. It's a really good sniping tool. I guess everyone just didn't really want to see it much. Mr. Marine, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Would be cool to see a blank state tournament. Usually after DLCs, people go ruleless. Or nearly ruleless, depending. So give it 1 month and you'll get that. Okay. Feel like what I have ain't terrible. Kind of want to find a way to. Yeah, I kind of want at least a couple of those. Okay, this feels slightly better. Quick double check. Gotta check what Khorne has. You got a whack load of infantry. Are my bases covered? I think so. I think my bases are covered. Fleshhounds are much weaker than Norscan Ice Wolves. Norscan Ice Wolves are pretty amazing, let me tell you. Minotaurs are there. He can get a bunch of big SCs. None of this is super duper scary though. There's some Karanak snipe shenanigans. Possibly some Valkyr shenanigans. We could see some Khorne Gorers and the like. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. Oh boy. Oh boy, please. Please work. Yeah, darn build. Triple Wrathmonger shenanigans. They're popular, but I don't think they're good enough versus Norsca. I think Wrathmongers Yeah, I don't think they're good enough. Determining what's OP is the developer's job, not the community usually. In this case, it's community. A lot of what CA fixes is based off like my suggestions, Catholic, alcoholic, whatever the banned unit of the day is. Yeah. CA just don't really have the greatest internal testing as far as I can tell, but here we go. Borderlow landing, we're up against Khorne. I have a strat that should work out pretty well. The hill on this map makes skull cannons particularly bad. So if skull cannons are less of an issue, I should be okay. Actually has like basically no units. Interesting. Yeah, it has basically no units. Alright. Eight units. Well, if he's not ready for the Marauder Tide, I should be okay. He has the Skull Taker. Decent number of abilities. And okay, double Cultist. Along with that, crap ton of Chaos Knights. That's it. That's his whole army. Oh, that's pretty crazy. So Chaos Knights, I think, do they have ITP normally? Okay, so obviously I don't want to summon in Skin Wolves. This is a pretty good opportunity for some horsemen. You get nice and close to the Skull Taker here. Just gonna get some pretty decent pokerage. We should be able to bully him a good deal. So Chaos Warriors are all rather slow. And then if we just yeah, if we just bully the Skull Taker here, the potential for damage is high. These are axe throwers after all. They should be fairly comfortable. Here comes the big dive though. He's not going to uptrade very much, however, in this particular engagement. Plus we can bully his cultists ever so slightly. We do have capture points. That's pretty nice. I doubt the Skull Taker is going to dive me, so I'm actually just going to slow this guy and then hit him up with the Horseman. If we get him killed, that's a fairly comfortable initial start, I'd say. Gotta be a little careful about the Skull Cannon. But at the end of the day, you see that? It hits terrain a lot on this map. That's gonna hurt him quite a bit. Skull Taker really doesn't like double Manticore shenanigans. That should be fairly good for us. We'll freaking get a little bit of bullying here. So far, it's just a pretty standard kite game. Cannon just really not getting a lot of value. I did let my sorcerer here get a little caught up though, and he does summon in a couple Furies, which are going to be mildly annoying. There you go. There's another hill shot. Gonna be decently comfortable here. And then we're just gonna keep being super annoying with the hill. His Axor should be able to have a field day in this situation. A couple Furies should not be the biggest of issues. We still have a double cap situation and no up trading, so This seems like it should be quite good for us, all things considered. Just gonna get a solid boat on the Furies. We're gonna pull back. Gonna get some armor here. Looks like he kind of want to make the big play, but his rush should not be that strong here. It really shouldn't be. And falling back here should be quite comfortable. A couple Marauders we can just bully. And then the Furies I can cast Doom and Darkness on. That part's pretty funny, because it gets them to crumble. Skull Taker over here, we can definitely bully. And then a couple Horsies over on this side. We don't have to worry about too much. Doom of Darkness looks like it's going pretty well. Yes, Cavcore just really is not getting the best hits on us. Plus, Skull Taker has taken a rather significant amount of damage. Generally a good sign for us. Hero squad over here, slightly behind. That's good. There's a Wolfricat. He's chasing down Skull Taker. Nice. He's in melee with the Skull Cannon, which you know he doesn't really want to do. A lot of my ammunition's running a little low though. But if we kill off the Skull Cannon now, I think we're just in a very comfortable situation. More Ice Doggos should be able to get in here. Plus we have our Fimir. Cannon looks like it's gonna have a pretty rough day, as it does indeed fall. Okay, next up is Skull Taker. I do lose my caster though. Skull Taker decided to stick around. Not the most comfortable of situations, but hey, I got another boat. That's pretty hype. He's gonna get a big old summon here of the Bloodletters, and we are down to Manticore now. In general, though, I think the fact that Skull Taker is taking so much deeps, I think that's a really good sign. A little worried about the overall situation here. His Bloodletters kind of didn't really take the best of fights. And we should be able to take a pretty solid engagement here. Manticores can keep hounding down the Skull Taker, providing some terror routes and all the like. Meanwhile, my front line is amazing because we are Norskins. Can I actually kill his Marauder Horseman, though, in this fight? We'll see. I have a lot of infantry here. Like, that part's good. But if Skull Taker lives, I'm not too happy. Wolfric has him to knee buff. His horsemen are in melee, and I do have a lot of Ice Wolves in reserve. They're gonna help out in this fight quite a bit, I think. If I can just get them to loop around, they can potentially get the Skull Taker killed off. Remember, we're also fighting on our side of the battlefield. That's a classic, very nice situation for us. Gets another summon here, but it's just gonna kill a couple Marauders. It's not the end of the world. And Skull Taker's looking positively worked on. Now, I did lose a lot of my horsemen to some Furies, but being down Skull Taker is not a very comfortable situation to be in. Value trading wise, though, my opponent is doing pretty well for himself. And I am also down my caster, which is not the best. But if I can just kill this guy, mayhaps we'll be okay. I got a lot of boys. We got a lot of boys, and we got some units I can uptrade really well in the form of Skin Wolves. This battle's far from over, though, but the infantry fight looks like it actually went fairly well in my favor. And Skull Taker is left on the run. Not the end of the world. Once I get that caster back, too, life should be fairly comfortable for us. We are capturing this point also, which puts a little bit of time pressure on my opponent here. Just gonna get a couple D summons. Battle trading gets very close. He makes his Furies unkillable too. But I have Skin Wolves at the ready. I'm getting a call. We've declined it. A little bit of extra micro, but we got there. Alright, here we go. And the caster's back. Oh, thank goodness. Losing the caster was very sus. But now that he's back, life should be quite comfortable. And that's another debuff that we're chucking down on the Skull Taker. With the Skin Wolves around, he is not going to be very happy. That should be quite painful for the poor guy. And maybe my Skin Wolves can actually get him murdered here. We'll see though. At least I got him on the run. I'm gonna kill off these Furies. Where's Wolfric at? He's gonna have to kill these guys. These heroes here are definitely really annoying. I'd love to Spirit Leech a Skull Taker, but I don't think that's really an option right now. So we're just gonna spam Horsemen instead, as my opponent is also spamming Horsies. Skull Taker lives. But we're in a not terrible position. Unfortunately, though, Wolfric takes a pretty bad beating. Oh my god, Wolfric. Wolfric, back it up. Wolfric takes a pretty bad beating over there from all those guys. Now he's getting bullied by Skull Taker. That's not good. He should be able to escape, but he's a little injured now. At the end of the day, Skull Taker's still fairly exposed. We're gonna get another Spirit Leech on his face. We get a Manticore. I think if we kill this guy, we're in the clear. I got my Axe Throwers on him. I'm gonna get a lot of damage in. Should be able to countercharge the Furies too, save my Skin Wolves. Find me a little bit of time here. And then maybe I can start contesting a point now. He has units nearby. Gotta be really careful here. Gotta be ultra careful. His hero squad's nasty though. The resummoning of the Horsemen, I do have a decent amount of time to potentially get some work done with them. Oh my god, but the Fury spam. Oh jeez. Fury spam's not looking great, guys. Oh, that's real bad. That's real bad. We lost a Horseman unit. Now his guys though are really low. They're on the verge of dying. And we'll probably be able to Spirit Leech Skull Taker to death. I have the Axe Throwers at the ready. They should be able to do fine. But we are on a double cap at the 1,000 ticket mark. It's gonna be a little sus. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's gonna be a little sus. He does have some basic Warhounds over here. They're not a big deal. I could potentially go for some sick back caps. First things first, though, I just gotta make use of these Marauder Horsemen. One of them's routing. Very bad for me. Very bad indeed. Okay, get the Spirit Leech off, though. Man, I think losing the caster might have barely done it. We'll see, though. I have some time. Should be able to... Barely out of range. Barely out of range. Unfortunate. We do get all of our horsemen back, at least. They're gonna be able to bully a couple Chaos Warriors. And he has mostly infantry. Take a look at this. We summon another horseman. We go over to the far side. And we may be able to snipe a point. He has a bunch of Furies, but not a lot of actual capture weight, right? That should be fairly good for us. I'm going to cut this corner very tightly here. We do terror out those Chaos Warriors. Yeah, and he's going to try and capture this with Horsemen. That should not be the simplest task ever. The Furies are a big menace. But there you go. There we go, contesting a point. Can I rout off the dogs before the Furies get us, though? Not entirely sure. Okay, get a little bit poke action here. Get going for a Spirit Leech on the Cultist. That should be okay. Oh, man, the dogs, though. Dogs looking a little sus. I got the Spirit Leech off, at least. I might even be able to bully the Skull Taker and get him murdered. I do have to be really careful, though. As, yeah, he's just kind of catching my horsemen. I think the Furies were a little too problematic. Without a kill on the Skull Taker now, we're screwed. So I think that's basically my Hail Mary play. He killed off my Manticores very efficiently, I must say. That was pretty rough. There goes Skull Taker. He's body blocking me. Very smart play. Furies over here. Routing off all my horsemen. Oof. Yeah, I think we're pretty screwed if he just gets them all killed there. Should be able to at least split up my forces here. Wulfric can get the weave on. Come on, kill him. Okay, there we go. It decreases leadership, decreases speed. And we're gonna make a sick play here. If I can kill off the Skull Taker and then somehow steal back this point in a reasonable amount of time, then we may have a chance yet. Wulfric's gonna have to get a lot of work done though. There's that leadership decrease. I've caught out some horsemen. His furies are crumbling. Guy doesn't want to die though. Skull Taker. Oh my god, what a beast. Barely surviving the onslaught. And yeah, I think our opponent's got us here. Oof. That's a rough start, man. That's a really rough start. That was a pitched battle and a half. But if the Skull Taker's not gonna die, it's pretty over. Any way we can win this? Any way we can possibly pull it back? I'm gonna spam some dogs to maybe capture the point. We'll stick around in the fight. It's almost assuredly over though. Oh man, bro. I thought the Manticores would get him. You might with them really well. All right, let's just try and capture the point and see where we get. Whew. Very fun match. So that was pitched. That was awfully pitched. It does mean I'm down Norsca, however. Not the best of scenarios. We'll probably be able to capture the point at least. Dang, though. I think the axe throwers are also maybe slightly suboptimal here. Didn't feel like they were doing much. All right. You well played. Dang. That was just a very solid fight. Super takes the first win, though. My tournament life's on the line. Axe throwers were good. I had my extra skirmisher, but really those Furies were super problematic the whole game. With only 3 of them, he got a lot of work done. And then, yeah, that little hero squad was just barely too much. Super close fight, though. That was insanely close. Oh my goodness. Fimir were actually not that great, surprisingly. I think they got routed by maybe just the hero squad. Not entirely sure. Manticores were okay. Dang. All right. So no more Norsca. But we're heading to the next map, and I have a decent lineup that I can pick from. I suppose he's likely going to play Wood Elves, though. So gotta think long and hard about what he might go for. Dang, that's crazy though. Even taking out the Skull Cannon, he still got it through. Crazy scrap. All right, so next up, we're on Imperial Ambush. It's a fairly open map. First things first, we just gotta see his starting faction. What's it gonna be? The problem now is that he also has the Wood Elf pick. Dang, that's crazy though. The 5 horsemen popping off wasn't enough. The Furies are just way too problematic. Get the Skaven going. Okay, so his first pick is Beastmen. That's not terrible. So he's actually offering the Wood Elf pick for me, which is a decent start. I can go Wood Elves here. And Slaanesh. Wood Elves and Slaanesh is good because he also doesn't have Wood Elves. His pick is Tomb Kings. That's honestly totally fine for me. And then last pick. Beastmen and Tomb Kings. Yeah, okay, this should be a pretty good last pick. Let's see what his last pick is. He doesn't have Khorne. These are some top factions coming out of me. And he went Ogres, nice. I went Wood Elf, Slaanesh, Vampire counts. He bans Ogres and Vampire counts, nice. I'll ban Wood Elves versus Tomb Kings. Wood Elves versus Beastmen, Slaanesh versus Beastmen counts versus Beastmen is all comfy. Wood Elves versus Ogres is probably a little sus. Slaanesh versus Ogres is a little sus. Not unplayable for me though. I've actually played quite a bit of Wood Elves versus Ogres. So we banned out his Tomb Kings. Generally this is good though, because if I don't play Wood Elves this round, the next round I can pick Wood Elves, and then he can't. So that's pretty good for us. He bans Beastmen, Vampire counts, Tomb Kings, Vampire counts. Who would have guessed? We're gonna ban Slaanesh and Ogres. And then we're going to ban... Do I want to play Wood Elves versus Ogres on this map? Oh boy, it's either that or Wood Elves versus Beastmen. Which matchup am I more comfortable with? Oh boy. Everyone says Wood Elves is terrible versus Ogres. I've played it a handful of times though. I think that I played it a couple times off stream, which felt pretty good, all things considered. I'd love to get the Slaanesh game if at all possible, but I assume he's just going to ban that. Which means I can pick a favorable Wood Elf matchup. Okay, I think this is the best path to success. We're either playing Slaanesh Beastmen or Wood Elves Ogres. Game hinges on this. Oh boy, very sketchy. I think we have... Both of these matchups are fine, though. Both of these matchups, I think, are actually good for us in one way or another. Oh, man, dude. Losing against Khorne, though. I should have desummoned the Horsemen when I ran out of ammo. I think if I desummoned the Horsemen, resummoned them, we would have won that. Mistakes for another time, though. So does he want to play Beastmen versus Slaanesh, or does he want to play... or does he want to try and face Ogres? Or face Wood Elves with Ogres? He knows I'm a good Wood Elf player. Both of these options are honestly fine for me. You think he can out-micro Sepa? I think it's very close. He wants to play Ogres, Wood Elves. Okay. So Ogres v Wood Elves? A little sus, right? Obviously Ogres have a very mean rush that you gotta manage. Not unwinnable though. Absolutely not unwinnable. A lot of people would say this matchup is hot garbage. I am aware. I am aware that this matchup is certainly on the more sketchy side. But I assure you, we have a plan. 'Cause this is one that I've played a couple times now. And I think we can win this with the power of skill. It's a lot to hedge your bets on. It's a lot to hedge your bets on, you know, what is typically a very unfavored matchup. I know. Makes me a little stressed, but it's Wood Elves. They're fairly comfortable. If I don't misplay this, I think we should have a pretty decent time. Gonna really depend though on my opponent's build. Ugh, alright. Alright, here we go. I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I got the confidence. We just got a micro good. Here we go. Time to see Tree Men and Blade Singers, I guess. Yeah, the full memory. Oh boy. Bro, that Skull Taker game was actually brutal. Was just barely not able to get the kill on him. I really should do some of those horsemen. It's okay though. Yeah, we got this. He won't have his ogres in the last round, which should open up a lot of fairly strong options for us. And I still have Slaanesh. So unless Seepa plans to play Slaanesh, we should be good. They don't usually play a lot of Slaanesh though, so they'd only be taking them to restrict them from me. That's not the end of the world. It'll probably be, we might play Slaanesh versus the Beastmen, which should be Slaanesh favored. Last I played it. He's started not casting these games. He's casting top 4 tomorrow. Whether we'll be there or not depends entirely on this match. Oh boy. My guy's cooking. My guy's taking his sweet time over here. Makes me wonder what he has cooking up. Oh boy. Yeah, if I lose this, I'm out. I'm out of the grand finals, man. It doesn't mean I get Saturday off, but you start watching multiplayer only because of me and the coast spread builds. Oh my god, ages ago. Don't play yourself into a bad army, yeah. That will be very important. Alright, and he's ready. Oh wait, crap, I accidentally... Oh crap, I accidentally... I accidentally overrode my build. Oh my gosh. Stress is getting to me. The stress... It exists. Accidentally replaced my entire build. Alright. Alright. This should be good. Little sus. Little sus, but this build should be good. Alright, here we go. This is a matchup I played a lot. This should be fairly good for us. Siva knows I'm a kite player, so he might try to rush me. 2 Thunder Tusks incoming, that would be crazy. Siva knows I like to kite, but this map is as good as it can be for us. Alright, here we go. So this is a strat I've done a few times. The Waywatcher kite goes pretty hard here. So I'm gonna summon in the other Waywatcher if he's not full rushing me. As far as I can tell, they can actually kill lead belchers if you do it just right. So I'm gonna need to use some Loric's Blessing and all that. If I just never let the Waywatchers get caught, we should be good. Vanguard on this map is ridiculous, yeah. So the Vanguard puts us in a fairly nice position. I can leave the Sylvan Knights here too. So they're actually stealth even up to here. I can stealth them with Loric's Blessing. And then he might go for a bigger charge on my Waywatchers than is expected. And then hopefully we can get some free picks. Terror is really good versus Ogres too. But yeah. Lead Belcher's a pretty weak sauce. He does have Golg. I'm not Lord sniping though. He has a Fire Belly. He has a bunch of Ogre Bowls. Okay, that's not bad. Alright. Man-eater pistols. Very nice. 13 units. Overall, the signs of a rush is fairly low. At this point, he probably suspects that I have Waywatchers. And he would be right. There's Lead Belcher number 1. I can kind of use the hills to my advantage, though. Unfortunately, we can't get a lead belt, or we can't get a Waywatcher close enough here just yet to get a proper volley. But a double cap we can absolutely do. So I just gotta stay out of range here. He has Ogre Bolt Iron Fists. Not the end of the world. We'll just take a couple pot shots. Get a little bit of damage. Dodge with my Lord. And let the kitening begin. Lord is fairly mobile. She can dodge the pistol shots for a while. On top of the Lead Belcher shots. Just gonna burn some ammo. And let the Waywatchers cook a little harder. Now, these guys are fast. You gotta be real careful about that. But my Waywatchers, they can also be fast. I can use a little bit of a speed boost over here. Keep them alive. Keep them stealthed. And now we run for our lives. Now, will they go for this point? We'll see. You get a pretty nice shot on those bulls. Dodging doesn't help very much, it turns out. Unfortunately, yeah, I'm gonna have to try and contest this point. But if I keep the far one out, I should be okay. Killing off 2 bulls too is a very nice start. We can bully some Gobos there. He just casts a little bit of a spell on us, but we'll be okay. Lead Belchers, they did get in range though. So do have to play keep away from him. Using a regrowth there is pretty crazy too, but the Waywatcher's living is so important, I kind of just have to. He doesn't have Flaming Sword though, which is nice. And he still doesn't know that my cav are here. Is he gonna chuck out a Burning Head or something soon? I can get a pretty nice shot on the Powder Guts. There we go. Oh my god! Okay, well, look at the Powder Guts. Talk about a huge play. Oh my god. Alright, so Powder Guts are basically dead. That's very good. Woo! Vultures. Very dead. That's nice. That's nice. He doesn't have healing either, remember. Vultures I can escort off the battlefield with some cav. Still doesn't have this far point. Does he have anything to defend these lead belchers? If he doesn't, I can stealth out with these Sylvan Knights. Yeah, there he goes. Sees them. But now what are you gonna do? Now what are you gonna do? If I kill off the lead belchers here, it's over. So that's exactly what we're gonna go for. He may have overextended slightly. Those are only basic Noblars too. Because speed amp these guys. So we're gonna cast a regrowth to make sure that they stick around. As long as they do that, we should be okay. Gets a pretty solid burning head. But the deeps through the roof. Should be able to bully those guys over there. We're gonna jump the lead belchers. Vultures go down pretty hard. One lead belcher bites the dust. Very nice, very nice. This is a man who's played against ogres too many times. Very nice. Oh my god. For a supposedly cursed matchup, we're doing quite good. He's gonna dodge with gold. He might not though. Decent dodge. Gold lives. Bully the Noblars instead. If we can keep the lead belchers running, I'm happy. That's realistically all we gotta do. Dryads have won the day. We get some more guys over here. Now, unfortunately, dang it, I've lost one of my units. Not the most comfortable of situations. He has saber tusks on me. Gotta be a little careful. Gonna chuck a burning head down the pipe. Hopefully we get a decent dodge here. And then I'll just yeah, summon some cav to help out that situation maybe. Gotta be a little careful. I still have to uptrade. At least the ogre bulls are suffering pretty bad. He's gonna chase off the Sylvan Knight sadly. And his belchers are still alive. Plus he has some saber tusks coming in. Now one volley's gonna kill them. That shouldn't be a huge issue. I think yeah, I can even half volley it. That'll be okay. And I'll just save myself from the saber tusk packs. Get the dryads over here. And with the cav summon, we should be able to clean up shop. Lord will be fine. Let's just heal her just to really make sure that nothing bad goes down. And we just gotta keep these guys running realistically. Unfortunately, yeah, he chased off my cavalry really well. Wild Rider's gonna be a little slow to the party because of his spell casting. But still doing okay. We watch a volley on the pigbacks. Looking pretty decent. It's another burning head down. Gonna mostly miss. That's not too bad. Okay, now let's finally kill off that super annoying little glob of units over there. We watch can get another pot shot over there. Any units that's not moving is prone to getting murdered by Way Watchers. That's the name of the game today. So get a pretty solid pick on those bulls, then we shoot the other ones. Huzzah! All right, they're dead. All right, very nice. I gotta keep these Way Watchers alive. If they die, by the way, in the late game, it's actually over. You literally cannot afford to lose your Way Watchers all game, which is pretty intense. But we've done a pretty good job here today. We've routed off his lead belchas. We routed off his powder guts. We're down for the count. And the leadership debuff on these guys is immense. It'll be great. There we go. We pull away over here. We have the double cap too. I don't need to triple cap to win. So we're just not going to get overconfident. And then I should be okay. Another big volley over there. Should take care of those bulls. And if we get some elite cavalry, I think we'll be fine. Pretty good burning head though. Can we get another big volley, however? Yes, we can. All right, nice. We want to heal these guys up. Every shot counts. Every shot absolutely counts. Should be able to rout off the blood vultures at least. Good volley on them. There we go. Nice. Just don't break their leadership. All right, now we just have to close out. Just have to close out. Should be able to get a partial volley on those guys on the far distance. I just need my elite boys here. Okay, we're gonna have to use another volley on those blood vultures just to get them off the battlefield, make them a non-issue. With the Lord there, they're definitely gonna be suffering. He did a good job killing my Sylvan Knights, but at the end of the day, these Way Watchers have been basically uncontested the entire match. They've been cooking hard, man. They've been cooking hard. This is what happens when you get to play a match of that you are fairly comfortable with. There you go. There's another Burning Head. I'm gonna dodge that one. That Ogre Bull unit should be off the battlefield. What does he have left? Just a Lead Belcher. Just a Lead Belcher, really. Alright. Pretty bad for capturing points. Pretty bad undefended, too. So I think that's a fairly good sign for us. If I can kill his Fire Belly, that'd be great. Remove a little bit of capture weight from the situation here. You can get some spears to defend this point. Don't want to lose a point, of course. Just gonna chuck out the heal there, get these guys back up to tip-top shape. And then the Lead Belchers we're gonna bully. Lead Belchers, unfortunately, don't have a lot of HP. So we just lay into them with the Way Watchers. It should be pretty damaging. Looks like they actually did fare decently well, though. Let's hang into a little bit of a sketchy late game. You can stealth these guys up, though. Ah, some trappers. The Boglars. Alright. That's gonna make things a little interesting. Now, I should desummon my guys here shortly. Definitely these Way Watchers don't want to just be grinding here forever, right? Should be able to catch these bulls at least. The big push, come on. Cav charge looks like it will get them. All right, there you go. Not bulls, I mean Lead Belchers. All right, I'm saving up for the Sylvan Knights because the spears are not going to be super useful here. Just gonna chuck a Burning Head down. There's not a whole lot we can do to really dodge most of it. I just want to get these guys routed off. Thankfully, my cavalry here is fairly elite. These are just Noblars. The Way Watchers can literally just fight them. And that'll make my desummoning process a little cleaner. Okay, there you go. Guys are dead. I gotta be careful that he doesn't come back though, right? Like, he could pretty easily come back if I'm not careful. I'm gonna have to desummon these guys and get my Sylvan Knights. I have a lot of money banked up, which is not super comfy. At the very least, most of my cavalry should rally though. And with the Sylvan Knights coming onto the battlefield, we should be okay. There you go. So those guys get routed off. I gotta start desummoning for sure. Okay, nice. And I have enough for Sylvan Knights, so I can just wait for him to get into a bad situation and then hit him up with the Sylvan Knights. That should be fine. I think he's spamming bowls, so he's going to be quite prone to a little bit of a Sylvan Knighting on this far side. That's a lot of meat. That's a lot of beef coming on in. Should be able to do quite well against a couple bowls. You can see he's just trying to brace up here. Let's just get a good fight for these Sylvan Knights. I gotta be a little careful about Saber Tusks, but I did kill the Boglars. We're gonna desummon those Way Watchers now. Maybe get them back onto the battlefield. We'll see. With the Boglars down, it's not too bad. All right, Way Watchers are done for, and now we have lots of money. So it should be fairly simple. My yeah, just spamming of resummons. Yeah, he does have the Fire Belly and all this stuff here, but Sylvan Knights are just a menace. They'll be able to do great in this situation. Looks like he's trying to make a play for this point. He shouldn't be able to take it, though. These are just normal Noblars. We can bully them. And I should be able to get the Sylvan Knights into a fairly comfortable position. Now he's spamming birds, too. It's generally a bad sign. Let's get some Dryads. I don't want to commit all my money too early, though. That can be a little sketchy. As if I do, I lose the ability to reposition, but I feel like just having more cavalry is more important. So we're just going to play it out like this. Alright. Pretty solid game overall. Just gotta be careful about these Noblars. Got him to turn, that's fine. These bowls. The bowl spam is just not gonna be able to hold against my knights. Which is gonna be too strong, right? Just have to be a little careful about the flyers is all. We got another Sylvan Knight unit in there. Got the Lord on him. That should just get him, yeah, routed off and all that. I'm gonna get a charge here on these bulls. Alright. I should think about capturing this point. I don't want him to steal this point somehow and then we get screwed. Now I have a lot of time and it's a 1-cap win, so I think we're okay regardless, but I should be a little careful. Rear charge on the Saber Tusks. That should get him dead. Alright. Now I just have to hold this point for like a little bit and we'll be good. There's a terror out. Sylvan Knights, really good. In my experience, having played Ogres a ton recently, we've learned that they're really bad against terror-causing units. In a late game where they're just trying to spam as many fools as they can, terror makes it really hard for them to actually have any longevity on the battlefield. And since his whole army is over here, I have freedom of movement to capture the far point. There we go. And that's triple cap. At least temporarily. At least temporarily. I'll take it though. A couple pigback knights should not be able to hold against a massive charge like this. Maybe they do. Let's not stick around. Cycle charging them should be fine. Point does get captured over here, but we're on a 1-cap win type situation. What do we got summoned in? Probably just a bull. Probably just a bull. Noblars. Sick.
Unending glory is yours.
Okay. Alright. Alright. So that's Wood Elves out of the picture. So what's Seepa gonna play? Oh my god. Ooh, god. This Weight Watcher volleys. They had to land, and very hard too. His lead belchers, 400 value, 1,000, 1,400. Generally only just paid for themselves. Weight Watchers cooked. Oh boy. But yeah, you really have to get either shots on the lead belchers, or if they're pushing too aggressively, shots on their bulls. It's still a really hard late game, because your Wild Riders just don't clean up shop that well. It's not terrible. Oh my god. Alright. And now for the last game of the day. The last game of the day. We are on Proving Grounds. Oh boy. So we're on Proving Grounds. Huh. I don't think about the factions I want to play here. At least I have vampire counts. But he has like Beastmen, he has Norsca, the map's pretty big. This is not like the most comfortable undead matchup, especially because it leaves a lot in the hands of my opponents. What should my first faction be? He's quite likely to go Wood Elves. So I kind of need a good faction for them. Either that or I'm just stuck banning Wood Elves all game, you know? Alright. He's very likely to go Wood Elves first. No, he's gonna save it for last. Okay, picking my first faction. Let's see what he has. I went Chaos first. Chaos is a very safe faction. He also doesn't have ogres, which is good. Just one match tonight? Yeah, it's just one best of 3. The finals is tomorrow, same time. Oh crap, I probably should have stolen Beastmen. Okay, he goes for Beastmen. Beastmen's not the worst though. He also went Dark Elves. Oh, that's not bad then. Okay, so I just went Slaanesh. Chaos Slaanesh is pretty good. I didn't want to get countered. Which means he either went Wood Elves or Tomb Kings. Okay. It's probably Wood Elves. If it's Tomb Kings, that'd be crazy for me. Unless he just doesn't really like Wood Elves in general. Okay, I went Vampire Counts. Tomb Kings, let's go! Let's go, he didn't go Wood Elves! Alright. Alright, this is it. This is it. This is as good as it gets. Okay. Slaanesh vs Dark Elves and Beastmen is great. Honestly, I have a lot of really good matchups. He went Tomb Kings. I called it, and I went Vampire Counts for my last pick, which is a super hard counter. He would be insane to play that. Not only that, but Vampire Counts is not bad versus Dark Elves and Beastmen too. You definitely have a fighting chance. He bans Dark Elves, Slaanesh, and Beastmen Vampire Counts. Okay. And Beastmen Vampire Counts. Nice. Okay, yeah. So he doesn't feel too confident there. That's good. I can ban out his Tomb Kings, force him to play Beastmen versus Slaanesh. I don't want to play Beastmen versus Chaos, right? Like, that's just a little sus. Beastmen versus Slaanesh, though, is definitely a good tussle. Vampire Counts versus Dark Elves. Chaos versus Dark Elves. Warriors of Chaos versus Dark Elves is a really weird one on this map. If I get rid of that, it's what? Dark Elves counts, Beastmen, Slaanesh, Chaos, Tomb Kings, Vampire Counts, Tomb Kings. That's pretty comfy. If it ends on Slaanesh Beastmen, that's pretty fine. I could also play Vampire Counts into his Dark Elves, but there's a little bit of volatility there that I don't really want to deal with. If I have to play it, though, it should still be Vampire Counts favored. I just have to be really careful about the volatility. Excellent Azrai play, thank you. The stress you're feeling, are you going to sleep tonight? I haven't been able to sleep in 2 days. The sleep's been terrible. If I lose, I'll be able to sleep. If I win, I won't be able to sleep. Oh, my gut, though. My gut feels so tense. Oh, my God. It's Vampire Counts Dark Elves, Vampire Counts Tomb Kings, Slaanesh Beastmen, and Chaos Tomb Kings. All that points towards... like, he's probably going to force me playing Slaanesh versus Beastmen or Chaos versus Tomb Kings. That would be quite something. He bans Tomb Kings versus Counts. And Tomb Kings versus Vampire Counts. Or versus Warriors of Chaos. Okay. He banned his, yeah. He banned out his Tomb Kings. We got him, okay. So he didn't get to play Tomb Kings or Wood Elves today. So either it's Vampire Counts versus Dark Elves or Slaanesh versus Beastmen. Let's play Slaanesh versus Beastmen. It's just the matchup I'm more comfortable with. If I lose this, I don't deserve to win the tournament. This is a pretty pitched battle. As much as far as matchups are concerned, Slaanesh versus Beastmen. It's a lot of micro. It's a lot of micro. That's all I gotta say. 64% win rate. If I can get my lore passive going, or get some easy picks on his units, we should be fine. There's a lot of ways Slaanesh can kind of just get a an auto win here if he misplays or gets caught or anything. So if I can make use of that, we're pretty comfy. We are a Slaanesh main. Seepa plays a good amount of Beastmen though. Like I should not underestimate their Beastmen. There's probably some sick plays that can be taken. That I should be at least mildly wary about. Can't you win by spamming demonettes? Doesn't have magic weapons. Demonettes are just not really good, even against non-magic. So unfortunately, the answer there is no. This is some really nice tech in case he brings certain very annoying choices. We know Furies in general, very strong. All right. I gotta build. Should be a good one. Should be at least half decent. Gotta really analyze, make sure I have magic. Make sure I have all the right abilities. Ooh, alright. I think I have everything I need here to pull out a strong victory. What would be the worst thing we could run into? It should be fairly comfortable. There's a lot going on here that can just make me win outright if he misplays. All right, let's ready up. Just have to be a little wary. Your Gorbel squads can be a little spooky. You gotta not get Gorbelled. Got a lot of damage. Butchers of Kalkengard we can deal with. Have the tools for butchers. Plus we have ITP, so they don't even help that much here. Do I want this unit? Nah. Maybe. My build seems fairly good. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I think I have answers to everything. This matchup's just gonna come down to who micros better. He's ready. Alright. My grand finals. Grand finals. Top 8 depends entirely on this. All exalted demonettes YOLO. Ah, yeah. All chosen. If he brings Bestigors, all chosen doesn't work that well. So he could go for a pretty spicy box. Cygor would be very interesting. It's not gonna be good versus though. This is slightly unconventional from how I usually play. We're starting off with a lot of infantry and all my cavalry's in reserve. I have the speed buffs for my cav. I have speed buffs whenever I cast spells. I even have a chaos warrior. So if he goes wide with a lot of infantry, in theory, I should be able to contest fairly well. He does have 15 infantry, which is a lot. But yeah, Forsaken are really good. All Gores kind of suffer versus Forsaken. Especially if you can get like a Pendulum or like a Rampage. Seductive Glories minus 24 melee defense. If he has a side Gore, I just play the points. Play the long con. And if he hard boxes, I summon in cultists. Cavalry fight should be fairly good for me, as Hellstriders are the ultimate optimal against Beastmen. And then, yeah, Bestigors are not too bad because I have those Demonettes. Looks like he wants to Trader Kinblob, though. Still has a lot of units, though. 2 Gorbals. Some Gore Herd, okay. Gonna want to start spamming Cav from the get-go. 15 units and such elite stuff here means that cavalry will be really good, especially if you can maybe catch some fools. I just have to be ultra careful about Traderkin. Can't really afford to let that bully me. Okay, and he's going for center control. That's okay. So we're gonna get our first flank point over here. Lord's just gonna dodge. Then we're gonna go for the hard flank. His army's pretty slow, and he has a lot of archers. His infantry should not be particularly strong. It's really just the butchers that I have to worry about, but this flank should be fairly comfortable. And then if I just get a big fat sandwich on him, then mayhaps we'll be okay. Someone's in Khorne Gores, all right. So he does not have that much, really, to defend just a full infantry push. He will be able to stop my Lord from getting into the cookie jar. But if I attack now, he shouldn't be able to defend all the flanks versus much Forsaken, right? Especially with the Khorne Gores so far. He didn't summon cavalry. I have my cavalry. I think I just need to confidently take this fight. And then we'll be okay, because like, look at that. It's all Ungors, right? Oops, all Ungors. So if I just keep sending in Hellstriders to days over here, and then get into the fight and rout off a couple Ungors, I think we're happy. It should be a pretty menacing Pendulum too. It's a big old Pendulum. Hits. Massive damage on his boys. A little late on the infantry on this end, but that's already one Ungor out of the picture. His other ones are getting caught up. It's not the prettiest situation. And he just has too much range, doesn't he? I'm pretty sure there's just too much range. We'll see, though. We'll see as the fight continues. We should be able to rampage these guys, thus allowing my Forsaken to get their devastating flanker off. We're going to bail out of this situation. And then I'm going to use a speed boost to get myself out of this pickle. And yeah, we're just gonna book it, right? I don't want to fight his Doom Bowl squad. Like that's just suicide. Instead, we're gonna go ahead and kill off these Centaurs. Gonna get a Hellstrider charge on them. Gonna get my Lord in here. His Ungor is on the far side. Should collapse soon. And with them out of the picture, I think we're pretty comfy. Big terror out, abound, very nice. We're gonna keep my Lord at high vigor. Want him to stick around. And then a big flank charge over here is gonna spell doom for all those Ungors. Then we bring in the Furies and then we should be fine. There you go, Lord safe. Looking good. Alright. Nice. So I just have to worry about the butchers and his Lord. He's gonna have another Traderkin though. So I really want to bully his caster first and foremost. We're going to silence them so that there's no traitor kin. And then we're going to beat him up. So I'm just going to force path my units through here. Then I'm going to Melkops this guy so that I get a little bit of that speed boost. Get that mobility advantage to outmaneuver my opponent. And then if we route this guy, no more traitor kin means that I can fully surround his butchers and get them killed. So there's the terror route, so he's off the battlefield. Centaurs are dead, and I think we may have a very methodical victory here. Ah, there you go. He's casting. Can I disrupt it? Dang it. He got the traitor kin off. Only a minor one, though, and he is off the battlefield, so I don't think we have to worry. Butchers and Kalkengard stand no chance against this, and I fully built up my army ability. GG. Thank goodness for Slaanesh. Praise be, Slaanesh. All right, nice. I got the matchup that I wanted. Absolute brutality. Whew. He played a really close first game. Second game was one that I was just really comfortable with. And the third game was an absolute massacre. Brought a really bad build versus Slaanesh. A bunch of archers. Like, I think he was expecting me to kite again, because that's why the archers are here. But a Slaanesh rush against, like, even 2,000 gold of ranged is devastating. Ugh, I want to puke. Great reversal, well played. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, the Ungor Raiders and then summoning in the Khorne Gors. Slaanesh is really good at just being like, you die now. And then it just, yeah. And then taking an engagement the moment they're at a disadvantageous position. So I just did that. Still terrifying. Oh boy, Lord got lots of value. My infantry engage could have been slightly more effective, but a lot of games will come down to just builds. His bulls never got any value, and his butchers only got 500. And the pendulum hitting the archers was so good, because that gave me my army abilities right away. So then his first Centaur summon died, which is really great. If you take a strong enough fight as Slaanesh, you just kill off their first cav. Clean wins, thank you. Out of curiosity, what would your plan be if he did a Bestigor rush? It would be a much slower style. I would summon in the cultists and the fiends. And then I might also be able to get a 6 around if he has archers. You can't defend archers with just Bestigors. Yeah, you can't defend these guys with Bestigors. So yeah, you basically have to go pure melee, and this just has so much capture weight. I can basically play keep away for a really long time, get all the important units that I need, and then take a pretty good fight. Because these cultists summon demonettes, my lord will reduce their melee attack by 24 and rampage them. Then they get rear charged by Forsaken, they're dead. There's no way that doesn't just delete Bestigors. Especially with no range, my lord's gonna have a field day, right? If he charges with his SEs, rampage them, and then have them aggro onto like an infantry unit, it'd be a little sketchier. It wouldn't be as easy. But yeah. Pendulum Steel Chair. Yeah, Pendulum is so nice. Having 2 spells is really good for rushing, because you can magic dump. Ugh. Oh my god. Just a reminder that Slaanesh gets buffed in a month. Apparently they're terrible in land battle. Oh my god. Yo, did you guys see the units from the trailer? I think we finally got a look at the shades. Let me quickly show that off. I wanna show off what Slaanesh is getting. Let's see. Also, yo, elemental stuff. Let's see. Is there a like a Reddit post that goes over all the unit stats or something? Oh yeah, someone on Reddit, they posted a picture of a Dreadmaw. Dreadmaw. Can you believe it? How is that unit gonna work? What is this? Yeah, so this was posted on Reddit. So the Dreadmaw has 72 melee attack. It has a missile. Interesting. It has 0 charge bonus and 0 speed. So it has to have some sort of like burrow mechanic, right? If it's 0 speed. Yeah, teleport ability confirmed. It has 0 speed. It would be really weird if it could just not move at all, right? Surely there has to be some sort of relocation. Yo, that's crazy though. How does that not become a mega cheese fest? Yeah, I know, 0 speed. I think there was also another picture of shades somewhere. Or what are effectively shades for Slaanesh. Their range units. Let me see if I can find them. I think like during the trailer there was just a brief moment. It showed it. Is Ma Norsca, not Slaanesh? I have no idea. Oh, it is Norsca. That's a Norscan army. So the Dreadmaw, it goes to Norsca. Alright, so we have a big beastie. Let's see here. Where's the trailer at? Surely someone has a picture of Slaanesh units. Ah, okay. Nice. Thank you. I just got sent a picture. I just got sent a picture. Thank you so much. I won't tell your name unless you want me to. But I really appreciate it. So this is the devotees of Slaanesh with crossbows. 49 melee defense? What the crap is that? What happens now? Well, tomorrow we play the actual top 8 grand finals. Wait, they have physical resist and missile resist? Wait, they have stacked resistances? Why do they have missile resist? What the crap is that? So even better than Shades? Yeah, wait, let me you want to compare their unit cards real quick? Here, let me get Shades up. This is Shades with dual weapons, okay? So dual weapon Shades cost 1,000 gold. Apparently this unit's made out of leadership too. Well, yo, that's absurd. That's really elite. Okay, they do have silver chevrons. Okay. So maybe they're like 75, 70 leadership. Wait, seriously though, that's 80. That's 80 entities. Their DPS looks like it's slightly lower though. So maybe they have a long reload time or something. They only have 14 ammo. So they can't mag dump that much. Yeah, physical resist 5%, it makes sense for Slaanesh mortals, but they have missile resist. Why do they have missile resist? Can you believe it? Slaanesh got missile resist before Nurgle did? Oof. Oof. Do they have stock? No stock. Well, no stock. So they're not invisible like Shades. Seriously though, how does Nurgle not have missile resist, but Slaanesh has missile resist? Just watch Sotek's video. I'll do that after. They have Strider. That's the same with all Slaanesh units. 40 weapon strength. Bonus versus infantry. 47 melee attack. They're super amped up Shade dual weapons. Wait, who has the same melee defense as these guys? That's a crazy amount of melee defense. 49 is crazy. I guess if you have chevrons, that's gonna help them out. Silver chevrons on this unit, according to like Sisters of Slaughter, that'd be like what, +5 melee defense. So realistically, it's like 44 melee defense. Sisters of Slaughter have way more melee defense than that. They have the same melee defense as Cold One Dread Knights. That's a weird comparison. They have the same melee defense as... God, they have more melee defenses like almost all these guys. They have the same melee defense as executioners? Holy smokes. They have less melee attack. Obviously. But like, holy crap. That's a lot of melee defense. That's a lot of melee defense. And they have the same melee attack. Oh my god. They're like almost executioners. Without AP, of course. But like, against infantry, it's basically executioners. These guys are gonna probably be super expensive then, right? Yeah, it's gonna be slightly lower. So like, they're gonna be like slightly weak executioners. We're looking at, yeah, like 40, like 43, let's say. Still though, that's like Sisters of Slaughter melee attack, but bonus versus infantry makes a huge difference. Tier 3 unit? Oh yeah, they are tier 3. Does that mean they're gonna be like at around the same range as like... they're gonna be between Sisters of Slaughter and like Blackguard, right? So between 1,000 and 300. Because Blackguard are also tier 3. Executioner ROR is tier 4. Here's the thing though, if this unit is really expensive, look at the HP pool. So they have about 7,000 HP. Okay, so here's the thing. While the unit itself is really good versus some factions, it probably... Maybe they're getting some campaign buffs, maybe. While they're going to be good versus some factions, this is realistically what's going to happen to them, right? Their HP pool is basically the same as... yeah, it's basically the same as Witch Elves. And they're basically the same price. So what we can effectively do to get a sense for how squishy this unit is, because the HP is very similar, right? So like some factions like Cathay, you're not going to be able to outshoot Cathay with this. Because these are not like Dark Shard shields, unless the missile resist is ludicrous. But realistically speaking, the damage they take from Dragon Breath is going to be like that, right? That's hilarious. I don't care how elite you are. All right, if a Dragon Breath does you dirty like this, then there's no way, right? There's no way that they are actually going to be good versus kind of these wind spam factions, because she's just gonna fly around and snipe them. Now, and like people already take these kind of spells to kill demonettes, so I don't think it's that bad. Forsaken will kill them pretty easily still. See, they don't have AP. The melee defense is really high. Forsaken might have a hard time actually hitting them. So, for example, if I was to go Warriors of Chaos, right, and we take a Forsaken. And then I go as Dark Elves. So, like, let's say, yeah, let's say, you know, they're very similar to Sisters of Slaughter, but with bonus versus infantry. That's basically, yeah, they're ranged Sisters of Slaughter with bonus versus infantry. Which seems kind of insane, but let's see. Say no more, nerf Cathay. Alright, let's see. So, like, let's say, right, the unit gets charged by infantry, and you countercharge. Yeah, okay, no, the low armor is doing them super dirty, and the charge bonus. Yeah, I forgot Forsaken have a ludicrous charge bonus, so yeah, you can't really face tank with them. The armor's just not high enough. Sisters of Slaughter technically have less armor, but 30 and 5 armor are both really low. The thing is, though, Sisters of Slaughter win this fight, right? So they actually kill the Forsaken here, and they stand their ground. Sisters of Slaughter base leadership is 82, though, but they also don't have the bonus versus infantry, which means if you get charged by Forsaken and they've already gone their value by shooting, you can just fight. You're trading out your whatever cost unit for 750 gold. Yeah, they'll kill dogs. Dervishes will do nothing, right? Even with the charge bonus, a dervish unit has a charge bonus of 40. So their charge might kind of be like Forsaken. Kind of depends on their mass. But in a long grind, they'll still win it. They'll be amazing versus Furies. Furies will be ludicrously bad against these guys. It reminds me of the Ice Guard Glaive unit. Or Ice Guard Swords, yeah. So Ice Guard Swords, holy crap, the stat difference. So people have run Ice Guard Swords before to kill Furies. These guys will not die to Furies in the slightest. And Slaanesh doesn't have to defend them. They already can defend them because they have superior cavalry. But yeah, this is it's a proper hybrid unit. Here's the thing though, if Ice Guard Swords cost 1,000, they're slower than Ice Guard Swords? Really? Wow, for a Slaanesh unit, they're quite slow. Okay, here's the thing though, right? Like, it's gonna be so expensive. If CA priced Ice Guard Swords at 1,000, this unit's gonna be like 2,000 gold. But yeah, they're kind of comparable to the Ice Guard Swords. The thing is, Ice Guard Swords, they don't really like fighting in melee still. I think these devotees do like fighting in melee. I think they really like fighting in melee. Those are some crazy stats. Yeah, no slow or magic damage. So maybe they're not that much more expensive. So yeah, like between 1,100 or 1,200, your money's on 1,100. If the unit costs 1,100 gold, let's compare it to a Chevron Ice Guard. It is significant. Okay, it beats the Chevron test, right? How many chevrons do I need to give this to start matching the stat line that we're seeing here? They are chevroned up too. Okay, yeah. So chevrons are pretty inefficient, so it can't cost 1,300, right? Okay, yeah. If it's at like the 1,100 range, 1,200, I could see it versus like some factions, like against vampire counts. As long as you outrange the Scab Scrats, you're fine. Scab Scrat will Scab Scrat will be more important than ever against Slaanesh. Holy crap. Slaanesh versus Khorne? Oh god, Khorne. It's a dumpster fire for Khorne. Oh my god. Okay, so Khorne gets dumpstered by this unit. Kislev has wind spells and will just shoot him to death. All range factions will just shoot this to death. I think you go rush into those. Oh, okay, wait, yeah. Slaanesh versus Nurgle is even more cursed. Flashback to ambushers on release. I actually didn't catch that. Were they super OP? I don't know about Slaanesh versus Coast, because they can still dog spam. I don't know if they have the ammunition to kill all the zombies. I think Slaanesh versus Wood Elves might actually be better, though. It doesn't have 360. It doesn't look like it. Taryn gonna love that unit against Nurgle. Yeah, they got another deal breaker unit against Nurgle. See, the nerfing Nurgle with this. Now, maybe they'll still buff them. We'll see. Slaanesh versus Wood Elves will be very different, though. Because Wood Elves don't have killer magic. They just don't really have the tools to kill a unit like this. Not efficiently. Unless they get like a really good blade wind or like, I don't know. But the issue is that the unit, especially because it has missile resist for some reason, the unit, like, it's still probably just gonna get shot to death by Glade Guard, right? And then your rush is gonna be weaker. I think if the Wood Elves don't play it right, they can lose it. I think you almost always want to have one of these guys in reserve to force your opponent to have some sort of ranged. Because it's 130 range That's the same as Shades, right? Yeah, it's the same as Shades. So it's just enough to make sure they don't box. That's basically it, right? Just they don't box. So now you have freedom to play a real Slaanesh game. Slaanesh Wood Elves is pretty Wood Elf favored. I know. Hey, maybe this changes it very slightly. Or maybe Slaanesh are OP. What stops them from getting run over by Wild Riders? The fact that your Hellstriders uptrade Wild Riders at like double efficiency. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Wood Elves bringing Wild Riders versus Slaanesh? Please. Yeah, never mind Slaanesh cap. There you go. You got there before me. Yeah. I think we're taking the stat line to heart too much. Okay, yeah. Maybe they're like super buffed with tech. They're silver chevrons, which means that they're at least a little bit into a campaign. It's fun to speculate though. Like the unit's definitely gonna be kind of like Ice Guard. Regardless of everything, it's kind of in the similar category. The thing is, no one runs Ice Guard, but they're armor piercing. And Ice Guard are kind of like non-armor piercing Sisters of Avalorn, which people also don't use. So, like, this is gonna be a niche unit specifically to break boxes. I don't think it gets any crazier than that. Dreadmaw is gonna be insane though. I don't know how you make a burrowing unit. Like, what if it's too good at playing keep away? Is it gonna be like a Dread Norsca kite? I don't know, we'll have to see. Yeah, they got +5 to like a lot of stats because of chevrons. It's still really high though. Like, that's higher than like any other range unit in the game. They're gonna, like, regardless, the melee defense is closer to Lothern Seaguard than anything else. Now, Lothern Seaguard, they don't want to fight Forsaken, so, like, you know. I don't think they'll be unkillable or anything. But the melee attack's through the roof, right? They have at least 20 more melee attack and anti-infantry compared to these guys. Like, you're definitely not going to kill them with Noblars, that's for sure. Versus Betonia and Lizardmen. Oh, yeah. Okay, Lizardmen is super good. Betonia is not good. Betonia is already spamming Cav. You're fighting for your life for the mobile game anyways. If you're already fighting for your life on the mobile game, there's no way that you beat Betonia with a range unit. Zero ways. Betonia's gonna run you over with their Cav and they're gonna laugh in your face. Especially if this unit costs over 1,000 gold. It's just 1,000 gold of stuff that can't fight Betonia. Like, I don't even take Marauder Horsemen against Betonia because they just get run down. I think it's, yeah, I think it's very similar. Dreadmaw is like, I don't even know how it's going to change the meta. Dreadmaw is either going to be ludicrous or maybe not that crazy. I'm still really interested to see how the water elementals cook. Water elementals, I swear, they better not be like basically ethereal. As far as I can tell, as of late, CA doesn't know how to balance ethereal units. So look at the Chillgeist, right? This unit's basically never taken. It has 55 physical resist and 0 armor and a decent HP pool. Is that enough for the unit to be good? No. You know why? Because 0 armor sucks. 0 armor sucks butts, all right? This is terrible. At 100 armor, you resist 75% of non-armor piercing damage. That's a crap ton at 100 armor. At 80 armor, which is even what you would consider low armored Cav, you still resist 60% of the damage. Which means baseline against non-magic attacks, Chillgeists have the same defense as an 80 armor Cav. Which means they're not stronger, right? They're not stronger than a normal like Black Knight. They're actually just as squishy. Except against magic attacks, they get deleted. So if they do the same thing with the water elementals, they're kind of screwed, right? Like if they give the water elementals 0 armor, 55% physical resist, and normal HP, it's over. Water elementals are gonna suck. That's my prediction. But you know what unit that the type of unit that they tend to screw up? This type of unit, Scourge Jointed Chariots. Based on previous history, CA is really bad at balancing chariots with missile attacks, right? Although previously they were bad, in recent times, most missile units that they release are pretty good. So like obviously the Sky Cutters are going to dominate, right? Slayers have 0 armor and are good. Well, yeah, that's because they don't make use of physical resist, they make use of unbreakable. Which is like a completely different thing. You like, hey, all right, you know what, how about how about we give the chill guys unbreakable? You know what, just give them unbreakable. I'm sure everyone would love that. If you swapped out the physical resist and made this unbreakable, they would also be annoying. And you know what, just to really make them like Slayers, why don't we give them more HP too? Slayers have 8,600 HP. Giant Slayers have 10,000. You want to see how much HP Ghosts have? Freaking 6,700. They're already half dead. Undead my butt. They're already halfway to the grave, man. It's so sad. Oh my gosh. Oh, CA's coming for me. I talk smack about the game too long. The Popo's coming. All right, no. Seriously though, these ghost units, they don't cook. If they have 8,000 HP and unbreakable, then they'll be Slayer tier. But as it stands, they'll crumble at 1/3 HP, sometimes less. Super called the police. But yeah, let ethereal units move through non-magic weapon enemy units. There's so much they could do with ethereals. I feel like they should really buff something about them. I don't know what. I'm not a game developer. But yeah, I'm calling it out. Water elementals are gonna suck. I think Slaanesh are gonna be OP. Unless they nerf Gores. But like this is already kinda good, right? The Mark of Slaanesh has consistently been really OP on units. So imagine this unit, but it has permanent ITP. It's faster, and it has 5% physical resist. Right? That's kind of how Slaanesh units work for like a slight price markup. So yeah, if they keep the anti-infantry, that'd be crazy. Warhammer ghosts are different to IRL ghosts. Yeah, I think they're slightly different. But yeah, all very exciting. All very, very exciting. Give it devastating flanker, because why not? Holy crap. If they give them devastating flanker, oh my gosh. Most of the mortals don't, but Forsaken do. It's kind of inconsistent. But like, Zongors were insane, right? So like, look at, oh my god, wait. Yeah, look at the difference here. So Zongors basically got the Mark of Tzeentch. And then they have a shielded variant, which is going to change their stat line a little bit. But it's just a flat upgrade, right? Basically, for 25 gold. If Slaanesh are in the similar price range, or like, you know, Pestigors or Khorne Gores, I think if it costs 725, that would start being a little expensive. But 600 something would be really good because they already have Primal Fury. That's a 10% speed boost, right? Oh, actually, we can math this out. So Marauders have 35 speed. Slaanesh Marauders get +5. So if we were to calculate this proportionally, Gore Herd would be 38 plus, let's say, 6 speed plus 10% times 1.1. Holy crap. Okay, rough calculation says it's going to be 48.4 speed, or like, let's say 48 speed. Oof. Wait, what's the Forsaken difference in speed? Okay, yeah, so they're basically just... Are they going to be worse than Forsaken, or are they going to be better than Forsaken? Because they're not armored. You don't always need an armored guy. Yeah, it's a +5, so we would expect like 48 speed. It's a flat 5 for Mark of Slaanesh. Oh, okay. Yeah, if they're slower than Forsaken and they're less armored, the thing is they're cheaper though. So in matchups where you don't need the armor of Forsaken, you just get cheaper infantry with anti-infantry. Remember Devoted Marauders before, when they had bonus versus infantry? That's what we're gonna get. It's just gonna be Devoted Marauders 2.0, right? Remember that there is a Gore Herd with shields for a proper Zongore comparison? Yeah. Sorry, I didn't read your message. You think there'll be a more specific version of Forsaken? I could see them against greenskins. Any like low armor faction, or maybe you just want to spam a bunch of dudes like Empire. Oh my god. You kill Spearmen and you don't care if greatswords catch them. I think with how good Gore Herd are against Empire, Slaangores would crush it. Wait a second. Wait, yeah. Because the Beastmen build against Empire. Like, just replace the Butchers with Fiends. Or, like, whatever new cavalry or monstrous unit Slaanesh gets. And then you replace the Gore Herd with Slaangores. And then Empire's dead, right? They're just dead in the water. Because, like, instead of Centaurs, you have Hellstriders. Empire really doesn't like that. Though Empire Knights are not the worst, but then you can take Seekers. If you want armor, you don't have Vestigore, sadly. It really depends on how the other Slaanesh infantry fare. Greenskins, Empire, Wood Elves counts. Stuff where you need to break through a box ASAP. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. The damage to gold ratio is probably going to be really good. Because I already love Forsaken because they're fast and they deal a lot of damage. Slaangores are fast and they deal a lot of damage, but they're squishy. It's really hard to tell, though. I think Slaangores will probably be insane. They'll definitely be better than Demonettes, let me tell you. Whew, Demonettes, mega garbage. You hope CA doesn't ban Slaanesh so much that they get banned in tournaments? Yeah. Oh, we had a whole year of Slaanesh being OP. Can we not have another year of that? You don't think the Slaanesh crossbow... The thing is, if the unit is ever strong, people just take wind spells and then they suck. Unless they're loose formation. Loose formation will help. But any expensive low armor unit that can be hit by spells will naturally be countered. Like, there's a reason why everyone runs Buna, even though Seekers are back. Because it just hard counters a unit. It doesn't have enough HP. Watch them nerf Buna. They nerf all the breath attack spells. Can't kill them anymore. Time for Nurgle to be OP. I've been telling them for ages, Nurgle should get a missile resist effect on the Mark of Nurgle for the reduced melee attack. Nurgle only gets 3 benefits, which is army-wide poison, extra HP, and extra melee defense. But they cost more. They cost more because of it. It's not free, right? Like, really, the only thing that they get for, like, free, I would say, is, like, maybe the HP. Like, I would definitely pay 25 gold to get a Marauder with a lot more HP. That's pretty worth. So the HP is pretty good. The melee defense is kind of negated by the melee attack, and the poison's only okay. Like, a lot of factions have poison without needing it to be your entire faction mechanic. I think Nurgle needs a little bit of extra love. Because, like, Tzeentch gets what? I guess Tzeentch only gets barrier and magic attacks, but barrier is basically the same as HP for Nurgle, except it heals. So Tzeentch actually has a better HP boost than Nurgle. And magic attacks is arguably roughly even with poison. You know, it's situational, whereas the Nurgle one is kind of generally good. But man, the barrier is so crazy. Anyways, just tuned in. All Nurgle units get Cloud of Flies. And it gives missile resist when not in melee. What? You must be thinking campaign, my dude. These guys don't have Cloud of Flies. It's only the demons. Only the demons have Cloud of Flies. Pestigores are the only ones with missile resist, which is why people like to take them. And Cloud of Flies is only a melee defense boost in multiplayer. Zinch gets ward save? No ward save for Zinch. Justice for Nurgle? Yeah. That's the change you were proposing? Yes. I think missile resist out of melee is totally fine. Because then you have some tactics going on, right? But we'll see. I've been begging CA to buff Nurgle for a while, so maybe they'll implement something. Support a Mortis engine on the mark. Totally balanced everyone with the Mortis engine. You know, funny thing, if they gave Nurgle a Mortis engine on all of their units, they might still be bad. Some matchup they do great though, right? You know, but how often do you see Nurgle get into melee? Oh, I guess versus Slaanesh that might change something. Though the fight happens so fast, they might still be bad. I'm not gonna lie. Nurgle's pretty garbage. I'm sure if you did that though, people would just spam Nurglings and then they'd win. But like, I like the thought that like Wood Elves would still crush them. Wood Elves would still take them to the dumpster grounds with like a handful of Weight Watchers. Lesser regen on the mark. Yeah, I think a super slow regen would be cool. Nurgle does have their lore magic, which is really good. Children of Nurgle is a really good kind of army-wide heal that other factions don't have. There's a few things there, but yeah, anyways, exciting. That would break single player. Oh, that's true. But yeah, tomorrow I am playing in the grand finals. We've made our way to top 4. My next opponent is likely going to be Attack Speed Enjoyer. If not them, then Maximillionaire. And then after that, a top 5 or a best of 5 versus Charix probably. And then a best of 5 versus Daniken. Stacked AF finals. First things first though, I gotta do some prep for Attack Speed Enjoyer. He likes Beastmen and Wood Elves. If I outright ban Wood Elves and then play Beastmen, he's like down all the factions that he likes. So that's not too bad. I think if I get rid of Wood Elves, they'll reduce the volatility a lot. And we know we can beat Beastmen with Slaanesh. Celestial Lake, the arena, and Jade Tomb. Celestial Lake is kind of close quarters. Arena is a massive map. And Jade Tomb is a really long map. I have to figure out what factions I want to play on each map. Who you playing? Well, we just beat CPA. We're going to play against Attack Speed Enjoyer. But yeah, I think Celestial Lake. Oh man, Celestial Lake's a weird one. It's really good for archer factions. Okay, yeah, I should actually just double check this real quick. I don't know if I'll play High Elf specifically, but it's really good for archer factions, really bad for gunpowder factions. So if I end up on Celestial Lake, I think because you can contest the middle point with these guys over here, it's not too bad. Play Empire. Empire versus Beastmen on this map would actually be pretty good, but they're bad versus a lot of other factions. There's some undead shenanigans you can do. But like a sign of a good map for Kite is if you have a home point and you have a middle point that you can kind of shoot at from your spawn zone, right? So like he'd have to push through the forest and then here cavalry. It's just kind of awkward getting on top of the archers. So if it's like Beastmen versus High Elves, I can just kind of poke away here and we're pretty comfortable. Not too many flanking opportunities.
You have been bested.
Maybe. Isn't Empire versus Beastmen pretty good on any map? I guess the thing is that like Beastmen is actually quite strong versus Empire in general. And attack speed knows how to spam gores. Slaanesh is pretty good versus a lot of factions. Alright, give me 1 second. I gotta scout out attack speed enjoyer. At least Charx I know. Attack speed. He mostly plays Wood Elves, so just banning that already gets rid of a ton of factions. Okay, so let's look at this draft that I did against him. Wood Elves, Dark Elves, and Beastmen. Yeah, he just kind of likes just likes Wood Elves and Beastmen, right? SFT declaration from attack speed enjoyer in SFT declaration. Oh, he plays some Betonia. Yeah. Okay, so we're banning Wood Elves for sure. As much as I can play Wood Elves well, he also plays Wood Elves really well. I don't want to deal with that. So he plays Wood Elves, he plays Beastmen, he plays Betonia. Maybe like a smidge. They also like High Elves. What else? Beastmen, Ogres, Empire. Oh yeah, he plays a bit of Empire. Then the usual suspects, right? Like Ogres, Norsca. I would say he played Dark Elves more likely than Ogres and Norsca. Yeah, that's not a terrible lineup. I just have to, I have to counterpick his Wood Elves, Beastmen, Betonia, High Elves, Empire, Dark Elves, Ogres, Norsca. His Dark Elves is probably not that crazy though. At least last I played him. His Ogres and Norsca is probably, you know, trained by his Beastmen, but not ludicrous. His Betonia though will be annoying, so I should probably get ready to counter that, right? So like if I steal his Wood Elves, what's a faction that does good versus Betonia? This forest sucks to shoot through. It's also on a hill on this map. Let's see. If I go Khorne, funnily enough, Khorne's good versus a lot of what he might go for, but I'm just bad at Khorne. Grand Cathay. I could pick Betonia. If I pick Beastmen and Betonia, he's pretty screwed. Because then he has High Elves, Empire, Dark Elves, Ogres, Norsca. All are pretty bad versus Beastmen, Betonia, right? Yeah, Beastmen and Betonia is pretty good versus some. Slaanesh is good. Slaanesh, if no Betonia. Ogres versus Betonia, it can be kind of sus. I would not confidently take Ogres versus Betonia. Chaos Dwarves versus Betonia. They really can't kill the trains and have nothing versus the Destroyer. That's pretty jokes. I'm not confident enough on Chaos Dwarves to just whip that out though. But yeah. And if it's going to be Maximillionaire, I'll just ban his Vampire counts. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. No vampire counts. Maximilianaire is chill. He likes to play a little bit of wood elves. I don't want to just ban. Well, yeah, he might not ban wood elves, so we'll see. At least I have dibs on them for round 1. Dwarves versus Betonia. Dwarves is good versus Betonia, but I haven't played them a lot. They are quite good versus a lot of his roster, though. But like, it's really risky. Dwarves versus high-level players, they generally know what they're doing. Vampire Coasts. Vampire Coast is very fun versus Betonia. You can spam infantry and a bunch of crabs, and then they're screwed. Betonia does not uptrade very well versus the Crabos. Norsca apparently is bad into Betonia because their cavalry is just so good. I think if I pick Betonia, though, it puts them in a really awkward position. So as long as I'm picking Betonia and Beastmen constantly, I'm playing his factions and denying them at the same time. Give him some really bad matchups, and then maybe we'll be in a comfortable situation. For now, though, hope you guys had a great time watching the best of 3. The knot in my stomach from the anxiety is gone. Hell yeah. I don't want to throw up anymore. That's pretty good. Oh my god, I was stressing hard. Sipa always wins at least one game against me. They always make it super sus. Oh my god, but I can rest. I feel so calm now. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you. And then it's just gotta be the Danican and the Charix. Hey, I'll take the second place prize pool. Worst comes to worst. And if Danican can beat Charix, surely I can too. All right. See you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. EST, same time as we started the stream today. That's when we will begin.